1,000 milligrams of test, 1,000 milligrams of Masteron, 700 milligrams of Trenbolone, 100 milligrams a day of Anavar, 50 milligrams a day of Winstrol, and oh, this one's bad. I was running DNP as well.
Wow.
Welcome back, guys. Testosterone Tales, episode number two. And the first episode, we delved a little bit into one another's past, and obviously, hopefully people are a bit more acquainted with that now. So now I wanted to jump straight into it, and I wanted to jump in with something quite personal to you, and something that's going to be potentially quite shocking to hear. Okay, and that is your experience with your largest ever cycle that you've ever run.
It's going to be clickbaity, this one, mate. So, without a shadow of a doubt, it was 150 milligrams of Trenbolone acetate every single day. I think I ran it for just over 2 weeks before I tapped out.
How old were you when you did that?
27.
So 8 years ago?
Yeah.
For what purpose were you doing that? Like, where was your head at with that?
So, this is just the thing. Like, I was being so reckless at the time, but I'd done 50 milligrams a day.
Yep.
Saw a certain change in my body. Mm-hmm. Naturally, 75 milligrams a day, 100 milligrams a day, 100 to 150, and there was a clear-cut change day to day. Like, anything above 100 milligrams Trenbolone acetate daily, my physique was just transforming.
So elaborate exactly what you mean by that. So were you, in that moment as well, were you eating a surplus or a deficit of calories?
I was probably around maintenance. And again, At this point, like taking back to our last episode, this was at the point in my life where I was living a wild life. Like going out on the weekends, doing all the wrong things. My diet was not great. And that's just the point with this. I was getting a really, really good result. Now, it was an insane amount of gear to take.
How crazy is that you were living that lifestyle where we know what you were doing, party drugs, but you were taking that amount of Trenbolone and still seeing a result?
Yeah, like the thing is with that, you know what Trenbolone's like. The vascularity you get, the strength you get. I was just riding the positives, but I could only handle that for 2 weeks.
So, okay, interesting. Riding the positives, and the positives were strength, the aesthetic, but the negatives were...
Do you want a double-page list? The first one, straight away, is anyone who's ever used Trenbolone acetate will know, like, you can get something called Trenkoff. So, mate, this just used to wipe me out. And every single time you do this, you'd think, I am never, ever, ever taking this ever again. So
explain to the viewers what Trenkoff is. I know, but yeah.
So Trenbolone acetate is obviously a really harsh compound. It's a very watery compound. Now, the actual science of it, I'm sure some of you guys will correct me here, but it's suspended in a lot of alcohol. And Tren is notorious, especially the acetate version, for when it's administered into the body, it can get into your bloodstream and it hits your lungs. And when it hits your lungs, you feel like you cannot breathe. And when I say feel like, it's in that moment, you will start profusely sweating. You are profusely, your knees and palms are like clammy instantly. Yeah. You'll go white as a ghost. Anyone else who's in the room will immediately know there's a big problem. Like, it is a medical emergency.
Yeah.
And the first time it happens to you, you'll panic. Like, I've had this happen on 30, 40 milligrams. Like 150 milligrams, you're getting an absolute train, payload.
Have you ever had it from other things other than Tren?
Yeah, I have.
I've had it from Test Prop.
I've had it from
propionate.
I've had it from a lot of other oils, and it must be to do with something that the oil is suspended in. Or it must be the alcohol.
Yeah,
element.
Strange. Do you think that it matters what part of your body you go in as well? You know, for example, a thicker muscle.
I get it worse in my glutes.
Ah, interesting.
If I'd pin Trenbolone acetate in my glutes, I'd get Trenkoff almost every single time.
Oh, okay. So my trick that I used to do was I purposely would do Tren in the glute, and then I would do everything else in my shoulders and triceps,
which is totally opposite then.
That's interesting. I thought that was the ace up my sleeve because I never got it from that.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When doing anything over 100 milligrams, obviously, I'm not sure what you've done before, but pretty much every single shot, you are guaranteed to get something.
Yeah. In the glute, no, but in the other body parts, yeah.
And within seconds, but with that much, it would last 2 or 3 minutes. My head, I would have to go to my bedroom window, open my bedroom window, put my head out the window so I could breathe and get some fresh air. Then at the time, I was like, where I was living, there was people outside, so they're looking up at you going, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, is he all right? My girlfriend at the time was in the bedroom thinking, like, do I need to call 999? And I'm like, no, it's all right, it's okay, it's fine. Like, trying to console her while I'm can hardly breathe.
But in your mind, you don't know if it's going to be okay. You're saying it's going to be okay, but you don't really know.
Well, you think in another 30 seconds, I think this might be it.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you still get up the next day and do it again. What's that about?
All right. So I've been there as well. Train cough. I've had it to the point where I'm literally you think about these things as well. I think if I'm found like this, let's say I pass out, okay, and I'm found, I've got a load of needles fucking spread out. I've got various different compounds, different drugs, and I'm thinking, how embarrassing is this? Is this how it ends? And it's embarrassing, and I'm just like, wow. About a minute goes, it clears, you're okay-ish, and then you sort of got a bit of a phobia of doing it.
Yeah.
But then you still do it anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty mad. But anyway, so on that note, so you did 150 a day, so that's 1,500 for the week? No, what was that for the week?
Oh, it's over a gram.
Sorry, my math.
About 1,050.
Excuse me, 1,050 for the week. Okay.
Yeah, because a mil would be 750, so...
1,050.
Over a gram.
Okay, so over a gram of Tren Ace, and what else was in your stack?
Oh, there would have been testosterone and masteron.
At what level?
I can't remember. Probably around somewhere between 600 and 800 milligrams of testosterone.
Okay, and same with masteron as well?
Similar, yeah.
Orals, because I know that was something that you used to do a lot
At the time, I was using a lot of, and this is bad, but at the time, and for many years, I used Anadrol 50.
Yes, I remember.
Which I loved.
Do you know what? I've got a story to share about James. I remember I met James in 2020.
Yeah.
And he was always big, strong, big character, everything like that. But I remember he used to tell me, because he was so busy with PT, he used to tell me that he would miss a meal, but make up for the fact that he missed a meal by just adding an extra 50 milligrams of Anadrol.
Banging Anadrol 50.
Yeah. You missed a meal, so you thought, bit of Anadrol.
1,000%.
That would be your swap. Your meal replacement was Anadrol.
Yeah, I think I actually, if Anadrol was a look, I think I looked like Anadrol.
Did you used to make it on a plate? Did you used to get a knife and fork like this, or did you? It's crazy to me. When I heard that, I was like, mine was blown. But okay, so that's your crazy cycle. So there's orals in, and everything was high. What you felt good and bad on it? Aesthetically good, strength good, but you felt bad.
So everyone goes through this, and then we'll come back to this in a sec. But it completely destroys your mental health. Trenbolone is like the cocaine in the steroid world. I've watched so many good, strong-minded blokes think they can handle it, and then they just wreck their lives on it. It is definitely not a compound to be played with. You go from. I think everyone's experience is different, but for me, I would experience. I'd be very hot-headed. I'd be very everything would piss me off. People would cut you up. I'd get out of my car. There's a whole host of stories we could go into here of testosterone tales.
We said this the other day. Do you remember those stories?
Incidents, and we will get onto that. But from a psychological point, it made me so paranoid, so anxious. Someone would be looking at you in the gym. They would probably just be admiring you, probably thinking, wow, he's in really good shape. But in your mind, you think that guy's got a problem. And you will literally go away and think, why is he looking at me? What is that?
See, this is interesting. I don't have that. What I have is, whenever I've used, I'll get onto my cycle in a moment, but I feel despondency. I feel lack of care. I feel cold.
Emotionally flat.
Emotionally flat, that's exactly it, yeah. I struggle to sleep. I feel emotionally flat, but I don't really feel it. But you and I have had this conversation before. I don't feel steroids like you feel steroids. You're quite, you know what you're using, and you can feel.
I genuinely, and we've had this conversation. I do feel I respond very well to anabolics, which in my past was a big problem because I recognized that and I knew that, so I abused it. But I genuinely feel like I could put a compound in and I could tell you what it is.
that's something that I want to do with you, and we'll do that as we get into further episodes. I want to actually do that with you. I want to have a label-less bottle,
Yeah.
have you go on it,
Yeah.
and then tell me what it is. I'll give you like 2, and you tell me what they are.
We'll do it when I go into a surplus.
For sure. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So now on to mine. In fact, no, I want to finish with you first. I want to finish, how would you do it differently now? What was the things you learned from that?
So I cannot emphasize this point enough. First, and I need you guys to understand this if you're watching us and you're looking at us and go, well, you did it. So the reason why we're doing this is exactly that. We don't want you to make the same mistakes we made. I could have made so much more progress using a fraction of what I was doing at the time. It was completely uncalled for, completely unnecessary. From an actual scientific point of view and from like a bodybuilding point of view, you can only build muscle at a certain rate. So if you're taking your super physiological level into the sky and your baseline, your natural level is here, say TRT or sports TRT is here, your cruise phase is here, when you remove this cycle, you're going to fall so far behind. Even at that cruise level, you can't sustain what you were sustaining up here. So not only do you lose tissue, you're also like, psychologically, it's a bit of a head fuck because you don't understand why you're dropping so much. So the higher you go, the bigger the drop, and it's unsustainable, even with food. You can't sustain that. Not only that, but you're adding mileage to all your organs, which at the time, like I didn't know I was doing, but it was very much happening, which is obviously why I had all the horrendous health problems later on.
On that note though, would you not say, the level that you put yourself at, would you not say that isn't muscle grown? So when you say you lose when you come off, would you not? It's not. So you're not losing muscle because, as you just mentioned, you only grow muscle X. You can't grow faster than X.
So I think as well, obviously with compounds like Trenbolone, there isn't a massive strength element, and I think for a long period of time I was associating the strength gains are muscle gains, and the two, although they are heavily connected and they absolutely do affect one another. The drug-induced strength you get from Trenbolone doesn't necessarily mean you've gained tissue. And as soon as you pull the drug-induced strength is gone. So the association of a loss in strength,
interesting.
It's like that requires a little bit of thinking as well.
That's a good point. I know people who are very efficient at movements.
Yeah.
So you would then put 2 and 2 together and think, well, if they're really good at deadlifts, for example, they must have the biggest back. Not necessarily true.
100%. Because you've got a big bench press doesn't mean you've got the best chest or shoulders.
I'm a great example. My bench press was pretty big and my chest is my weakness.
We need to get a video coming up right now of Ryan bench pressing 220 kilograms. What year was that?
I benched it first time 9 years ago.
Yeah, and you used to compete with powerlifters.
Yeah.
And
I used to be a powerlifter as well.
But you used to compete with powerlifters on a bodybuilding prep.
Absolutely, yeah.
And piss them off.
Yeah, I literally did. My first power meet, my first and only power meet I did, I was not really accepted by the powerlifters because I was like fairly lean.
Yeah.
I didn't really know the ins and outs of something. I didn't know how to move the bench press up.
Yeah.
They've got like certain levels. What number are you at? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really know. I was just quite good at it.
Really irritate them.
Furious.
Yeah.
Furious. They didn't really accept me, but
so
I was benching 5 plates 9 years ago, but I had a very undersized chest. I still do, but I'm trying to rectify it now. But it's almost like too late, years of incorrect training. But so you to summarize, I think I already know the answer, but how would you do it differently now?
Most of the time, I had absolutely no place taking the dosages or the compounds I was taking at the time. I could have made far greater progress if I'd have just addressed my lifestyle, my food intake. I could have avoided all the mental health issues. I could have avoided all the trouble I got into, which is probably there for another episode because I got into so much trouble in my 20s. Like, so much trouble with, I could have avoided all that. And then ultimately, the actual physical damage, to my organs and my health, my liver took an absolute pounding, and even to this day now, I'm suffering because of that.
Yeah.
So, if anyone's watching this, and you are listening to the things I'm saying, and you're thinking, I either have those tendencies or I'm doing it, then you need to reach out to someone, either one of us or someone who you know, knows their shit, right? And you just need to get them to give you a little bit of guidance because you totally underestimate what is actually needed.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pros and a lot of these top bodybuilders are not taking what you think they're taking. They train very well, they eat very well, they are very consistent, and they do have good genetics. But even if you're someone with poor genetics, you can get so far by just using the anabolics as just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like, if I could go back again and do it all again, that would be the biggest lesson that I would tell myself.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Now, I think a way that I always like to think of it, like it's the icing on the cake. It isn't the cake, right? It's an amplifier to what you're already doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking the best in the world, they're just using more steroids.
Yeah,
that's not the case. They've been doing it longer or been doing it better, or a mixture of both.
Correct.
You know, the people who've been doing it most consistently well are generally the best. You know, coupled with genetics, of course. So I'll go into my cycle now.
What about you?
Yeah, my cycle. So I actually know exactly what I took because it was on my first ever prep. Here's the ironic thing. I was way smaller then. So people associate more gear with more size. I was like 20 kilos less than I am now, but I was using double. So first ever prep, 2015. The reason why I took it was because lack of knowledge. I knew a bit, but you think more is better.
Were you being coached?
No, I wasn't coached for the first 10 shows. I did all on my own. But I had pretty good knowledge. As I say, I was already training for 10 years at that point.
Yeah.
And I'd been using steroids on and off for 3 years prior to that. Very, very small amounts.
One more question for you. Where were you getting the cycle design or concepts from? Were you going off guys in the gym? Were you going off other competitors? Were you going online? Where were you getting that information from?
Yeah, so 2 main places was online, different forums. So I used to go on bodybuilding.com. The different forums there. But the thing is, you'd be led down a garden path. You get so many varying opinions that I found it quite tough. So I had a few guys, but one guy in particular, he probably won't even watch this, but I'm going to shout him out. There's a guy called Kieran. Kieran, his second name I can't remember. Kieran Woodgate. If he watches this, and his brother Lewis Woodgate, but yeah, Kieran helped me. Kieran, at the beginning of my cycle, at the beginning of my bodybuilding journey, he really helped me with like diet knowledge and gear knowledge. Hopefully you do watch this, but yeah, so way back then, 2015, started my first prep, and I was on 1,000 milligrams of test, 1,000 milligrams of Masteron, 700 milligrams of Trenbolone, 100 milligrams a day of Anavar, 50 milligrams a day of Winstrol, and this one's bad. I was running DNP as well.
Wow.
Which, probably another subject for another day, but yeah, in a nutshell, DNP is horrendous. It's probably the harshest thing I've ever taken, both recreationally and steroid. Like
It legit will kill you.
The LD50, so the lethal dose, all drugs of an LD50 is really fucking low. I can't remember without looking it up, but it's very, very low. So let's say it's like 500 milligrams is the LD50. So if 100 people took 500 milligrams, 50% of them risk death.
I knew a rugby player that died because of DNP. Like, I actually personally knew him.
As I say, I don't really want to get into that subject now, but we will. I think that's actually a good one. Because I do know people that still ask about it now.
Yeah.
So DNP, I was running DNP on my first, I could only manage about 10 days on it. It drained the life out of me. But anyway, so imagine all of those compounds I was on. If you were to add that up, that's like probably 4,000 milligrams, including orals.
4 grams.
4 grams.
At 90 kilograms.
I was 99 at my first show.
Okay.
So yeah.
Sub 100.
I was under 100, and now I'm 120 in better condition. So think about that. And with DNP, I was on my arse, mate. Anyway, the result was pretty good, and the reason why I liked it is because correlation doesn't mean causation. I could have got into shape without doing that, but because I got into shape whilst doing that, I associated it with, it must be those things. But in reality, do you know what actually happened, mate? There was a big shift in my life, 2014 to 2015, where I stopped going out. So when I stopped going out, I was naturally getting in better shape anyway. Mm-hmm. And then I went on a prep where I started eating correctly, so I was getting in better shape.
Lifestyle improved.
My lifestyle improved, but I made the association more gear meant I got in shape.
Yeah.
But then I've never been a complete arsehole. I have got a couple of brain cells up there, I think. And Yeah, I did then start to realise, hold on a minute, no. I got in shape because I changed so much. And I've never used as much ever again. And I've progressively got bigger. So if you actually think about it, in 10 years, I've grown 20 kilograms of lean tissue, 2 kilograms a year.
Which is actually wild.
Do you know what? It's not a lot. In 1 year, someone will go, oh.
No,
but over that period of time, it's significant.
Lean tissue, lean muscle mass. That's insane amount. That's a large amount of body weight.
So my last show, I was 116 kilograms on stage. And I was leaner than I was at 99. So if the condition was comparable, 20 kilos for sure.
And for those of you that are watching this, when you're thinking, oh, well, I'm on my fat loss or weight loss journey, and you've lost 5 kilos of body weight, you need to understand that the difference between losing some body weight in terms of fat or just losing body weight during a dieting setting and gaining actual lean tissue. And obviously as bodybuilders, the only thing that we can typically measure ourselves against is when we were last at really low body fat, so in contest shape. So if you think of your absolute best condition this year versus 5 years ago, and how much weight differentiation there is, that is like your true kind of measurement of how much tissue you've actually gained.
Do you find that you get people that compare themselves at different body weights? So for one's height of off season versus and they think that is just gained muscle mass. Do you actually come across that?
All the time. Well, guys will be like, they'll be in a diet, and then they'll take a picture of themselves when they're peeled in prep, and then they'll go into off season 12 weeks later and be like, I put on 12 kilos, this is amazing. It's mostly water.
And you don't actually know what you've gained. You don't actually know what you've gained until you're lean again. You have to go back to that and then see the differential, make sure that it's pound for pound the same.
Correct. The one thing that will be coming in soon is there's obviously people have got access to DEXA scans now.
Correct.
And that technology is really expensive still, but I reckon in the next 2, 3, 4 years, it will, like everything else, it'll become more affordable, like blood testing. And I think the masses will start, especially competitors will start using that.
Do you know what's interesting though? Because it doesn't really matter the number. What matters is the look. You could be, if you and me were 10% body fat, in fact, right now, you and I might be the same body fat level. We might be, but we hold it differently. So it looks different.
Totally.
Yeah? Totally. So, in fact, I had this conversation yesterday, and I'm not going to name names because it's, but there was a guy very, very recently, won a show, absolutely peeled from the back, but then from the front, kind of soft.
So you hold it at the back, don't you?
I'm the opposite. But people look at his physique and go, wow, mind blowing. That is so conditioned. But then from the front, it looks a little bit soft. And the opposite is for me. I'm very lean here, and then I got a fat ass, right? And people would say, oh, you need a bit of work, mate. And I'm like,
because
hold on a minute.
you'll be peak off season, and you'll hit it abs and thighs, and you've got a straight six pack. Peak off season. I've seen it.
Right now, I've got a really fat bum, like a Beyonce bum, right? But I've got still lines through my legs and quads. So it's just the way. How you hold the body fat is kind of important, more so than the number itself, But people very often don't understand the difference between body weight and muscle mass, right?
Lean tissue.
100%. I know that. So to circle back round again, I know as a lesson learned that wasn't what got me in shape. I changed my life, and that was what got me in shape. All of a sudden, I wasn't, I was eating to a strict diet plan, cardio, all that good stuff, and I wasn't drinking alcohol anymore, sniffing drugs. I wasn't doing that.
Why?
Why did I do the cycle, or why did I?
What was the change? What was the switch?
Years of abuse. Are you talking about the switch from poor lifestyle or the switch from drugs, steroids?
The switch from poor lifestyle.
There was probably a final moment, end of, do you know what? Okay, quick one, very quick. New Year's Eve 2014, big group of us went out. But by this point, I was already feeling I was feeling fatigued from going out. I was feeling but I felt like I had to keep up appearances. I went out New Year's, and then I was staying at my parents' house even back then, and I got into my parents' house at 6 a.m. and I didn't have a key, and I tried to break the window of our dining room.
Because just picture the scene here. It's you break the window of your parents' house at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. I was wearing a suit jacket, like a blazer, Vivienne Westwood shirt. I actually looked all right, but I had a little stone and I was trying to crack it trying to crack it just so I could get the key that was there. Like I knew where the key was. It was there, and then I could open the window, climb through the window.
In your head at the time, this is such a logical thing to do.
I thought, like, I've nailed it. Because the last thing I wanted to do was call my parents. Anyway, I ended up sleeping in the shed because I didn't want to. I had a brainwave, and I went to the shed where there's the lawn mower and the fucking garden shears, and I was just like this, and I put my blazer up like this, and I just fucking slept on my own shoulder like that.
Bear in mind, this is like end of December. This is start of January. Oh, it's New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Fucking mate, like legit shivering. Yeah. So anyway, like moments leading up to it, then that moment, and my parents got in about 3. What the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I don't even fucking know. But yeah, so that was it, and then my prep started quite literally right after that. Honestly, yeah. So it was like, enough's enough. So yeah, I learned, mate. I learned, that those steroids weren't serving me well either. The way I felt on DNP, the way I felt on the trend, couldn't sleep, all that bollocks. So,
do you think that you had to do that to learn that though?
I didn't have to, but that was the way I did.
Same.
It's like there are probably better ways to learn.
And I just wish that I had someone like myself now to go back and be like, you don't need to do that.
Do you feel like you're the kind of person that almost like, even if you were told, you probably wouldn't have believed it? Because you're kind of like, nah, I'll be right.
I was that guy, like I'd always take the piss out of the older guys using elbow sleeves and stuff. Like, what are you putting your armbands on for? And then there's me every single session now with the armbands on. Oh, your elbows are going to hurt. You watch.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Now I'm telling them.
It comes round, yeah. I don't know if same with drugs, like recreational drugs and steroids. I feel like I needed to make that mistake. That's my personality.
I feel like a big part of my mission is to try and speak to the me of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The lads and girls now that are doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And try and just impart some advice. And I genuinely believe I can get in their heads.
Not everyone's like us. Some people are more receptive to it. I think some people are receptive to change. Some people you speak to and it will go in one ear out the other.
Yeah, yeah.
But some, they're ready to change.
Yeah, yeah.
And your words will be so impactful.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that you've been there and done that.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. On to the next subject. And the next subject is, and I want you to begin, 3 things. Given that we're coaches, right? We do the same job, and we've been coaching a long time. Between us, probably best part of 2 decades between us, right?
Dangerous one, this.
3 things that give you the ick. Number 1,
being
ghosted. Being ghosted. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. So explain what you mean, please.
Okay. Picture the scene.
I hate it.
You've been coaching this client for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know everything about them. Mm-hmm. You know their pet's name, you know all the family members, you know what they do for a living, you know everything that's wrong with them, you know every single food that inflames them, you know like every single medication they take.
Yeah.
You know every single thing about this person's life.
They got a mole on their left bum cheek.
Like, bro, everything. Yeah. Every single time there's been some woe or something that's gone wrong in their life, you've been one of the voices of reason that's picked them out of this mess.
Yep.
They've told you that you have helped them, you've changed their life, they've achieved things they've never done before, and they're so grateful for it.
Feel amazing.
And then one day, it's just a one tick. There's just nothing.
Yep.
The door's just closed. Gone.
Yep.
What is that?
Insane behavior. Have you ever had one of these people that's done that to you and then seen them in real life?
Oh, mate, all the time.
And how do you deal with that?
Oh, Ryan, I don't even. This one's for the outtakes. This. It's really tough, mate. Like, it's really, really tough because we were literally talking about this morning. I genuinely really struggle to understand what to do. Like, is there something I could have done more? Is it something I've done wrong? Is it a little bit of an embarrassment on their part? Like I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I can't help but take it personally, and I think one of the things that we need to do as coaches is to not take it personally. But how hard is that? When you put your heart and soul into something?
It's because as much as every single person on the planet will tell you, you're running a business, they are a client, this is business, and that's how it is. Ultimately, you have built your business and I have built my business because we do get emotionally invested in our clients.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you are in this industry because you do want the best for people. Like, you're getting paid, but you're actually getting paid to help people improve their lives. And that is ultimately, that's the reason why.
And I tell you what, mate, I can't be any other way. I am a little bit emotional guy. Like when someone leaves, and as you say, you've grown this connection with them, and then they'll drop you the moment you're not convenient anymore. And I guess that's the problem with having a service that isn't essential.
It's probably the one part of this job that genuinely it hurts.
It does.
It does hurt.
And I think we wouldn't be who we are if we didn't feel that though, mate. So there's a silver lining in there, I think. Sorry, number 2. Go with number 2, please.
Just honesty on check-ins.
I would actually go one further. I would say not even honesty on check-ins. I wouldn't mind it if they gave me some detail. When they give me one-word answers, or they don't even check in.
That's really tough.
You have to chase them. Why should I have to remind you every week?
And like, I know this is crazy, but like there's a lot we deal with. We can say this, but we deal with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of clients. You have a lot of clients. Like imagine if 20 to 30 people just didn't check in that week. Like your entire week would be chasing.
I tell you what. Sometimes
it's also frustrating because if they do that, it's like, well, what's going on? Like, is it because something's happened in your life? Is it because... And then I'm thinking to myself, like, is this person okay? Do I need to check up on them? Or have they forgotten? Like, are they bothered? Like, and then it's a motivation thing. If it's a motivation thing, like, what's going on? Like, I thought you signed up because...
I think if they can't be bothered to check in, they can't even set a reminder on their phone. That says a lot about their adherence. How likely are they going to be sticking to food? Not very. You've got one coach. It's not like you've got like 50 people, 100 people to remember about, like what, you and I have got to remember. You've got one and you can't remember. So it says a lot about their adherence. You already know that person's not sticking to it. If they can't even do a check-in, if they can't be asked,
Totally. And like, I think as well, for a lot of people, when things are going wrong in their life, that's actually when they need the coach the most.
Couldn't agree more. The irony of that, right?
We are actually here for when you're struggling. That's when you need us the most, and that's when a lot of people start backing off. Like, I don't understand that.
When it's easy, it flows. It's those hard days when hard weeks. That's when you should really knuckle down, heels in, go.
Yeah.
I completely agree, mate. We align 100%. Number 3, I'm going to go with it. See if you agree. It will be overuse of steroids, which is ironic because we just spoke about it.
When you have a client who starts with you already using a lot.
This is going to be a bit offensive. I'm sorry.
Good.
But they don't even look like they attend a gym. They kind of just look like a normal guy. And they're running 3 or 4 different compounds. It's crazy to me. And I think Trenbolone has become a meme. So people just use Tren because they see it on Instagram.
It's genuinely glorified.
100%. It's when the trend kicks in.
Like people, they laugh and joke about it, but it genuinely is a really serious drug. Like it's a really fucking serious drug.
And we can speak from experience. And it's not like we think we're holier than thou, as we made those mistakes too. But it's really important that we get across the message that this is not good.
It's not good, man.
It's a mistake on all levels.
It's great that you're coming to us and you're being honest and you're telling us what's going on, but it's also understanding that we're going to have to unwind things, and it's going to be a mindset change because we're going to have to pull all that right back.
So true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so true. When a client starts with you, hey James, I'm running 500 test, 500 Tren, 500 EQ, and they weigh 75 kilo, 85 kilo max. Yeah?
You're like, you just need a tiny bit of testosterone, if that, and we need to just start eating and start lifting.
But then what does that client think? That client thinks that you're trying to stunt their progress or trying to hold them back.
Which is so far from the truth.
Yeah, how crazy is that? Yeah. And that is a really hard thing about our job.
Yeah.
Trying to convince someone that this is actually the best method. We've been there, we've done that, we've made the mistakes.
Well,
so you don't have to.
What's the other option? Where do you go from there? Take more drugs?
Take more, yeah. It's a sliding scale. It goes more and more and more and more. You explained that earlier. You start at 50, then 75, then 100. So yeah, that's the 3 main ones. But then, so that's like negative stuff, okay? So now if we try and have a bit of a more positive outro, okay? Let's try and bring things up a little bit more, okay? So I want you to think of one specific coaching memory or transformation or something that you really want to shout out. Someone you want to shout out that you just feel is life-changing for both you and them.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to go with this one straight away. It's actually a fairly new client of mine. Like, there's so many people I could talk about here. I actually have a folder on my phone of screenshots, and this is sadness, but like, I just want to be totally honest. I have a folder on my phone. Every single thing any of my clients have told me where it is like a really, really like incredible moment for them, or you've changed my life, or we've done this, or I've done this for the first time, or I went on holiday, I didn't feel self-conscious, or I've whatever it may be. Like, I have a folder of screenshots of wins that goes all the way back to 2018.
Wow.
On my iCloud. And on all the days where I'm just exhausted, I'm tired, I'm demotivated, I'm ill, and whatever, I'll go in that folder.
Yeah.
Like, it's so motivating. But the guy that sticks out to me at the moment is one of my clients. He's called Carl, and I'm gonna shout you out on this.
Yes, Carl.
So his ankles are fused at the bottom. His legs are really, really, really compromised. He can't move very well. He was actually in a wheelchair. He's out of a wheelchair now. And when he came to me, he was in no way, shape, or form he could train his legs. It was just something that in his mind, and like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physiotherapist, but he'd been told by a lot of people, this is just, something. He'd kind of been conditioned to think, I can't do that. So I love a challenge. And for me, it's always questioning everything. So we've started training his legs. We've worked a program around all the things he can do, movements he can do, just being creative, working his quads, working his hamstrings, working his glutes, whatever. But the process of him doing that has realized, well, one, he can. And then it's the light bulb moment of, well, if I can do that, next week I can do a little bit more, and it working. This is someone who really couldn't do like more than 2,000 or 3,000 steps a day and be in pain. Like, be in chronic pain. And this is something that this guy has been in, since his teenage years, years of his life. Then we got up to like 4,000 steps. And then this week he's been doing 6,000 and 7,000 steps. And like, the gym where I work is 3 flights of stairs. Okay, so every single week so far, he's been getting a lift up the stairs. I've been meeting him at the lift, I've been helping him through the lift and getting him into the gym, whatever. Last week, he took the stairs all the way up the gym, and at the end of a session, walked all the way downstairs.
Wow.
That sounds really, really stupid, but like...
No,
I was sat in my car driving home, because I train him quite late at night on a Wednesday, usually like 7 or 8 p.m. I drove home, I sat in my car, and I could literally feel my eyes welling up, because I was just so overwhelmed with like, this is exactly why I got into this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I can feel that, man.
Like, and I don't like that. That's like, I did not, right at that moment, I did not care about anything else. I just knew that this is why I do this job. Yeah. This is why I do this job.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. I think the power that someone else's results can have on you it's arguably even better than your own. Yeah. Like knowing that you can give back like that.
And I think truthfully, mate, I think for me particularly, I can't rewind the clock of my own life.
Yeah.
I've made too many mistakes. The way I do give back is paying it forwards.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think in life, as you get older, it's like it becomes less just about you and selfish life and what you want, and it becomes more about, well, what can I provide? What can I give? Yeah. When I leave, when I'm done, what will people remember? And what's the message that I leave behind?
So, are you trying to say that someone was disabled and now they're not? Are you Jesus?
Yeah, I don't know.
Will you also turn water into wine?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, no, that's jokes aside, that's absolutely amazing. Maybe we can even share a photo of Carl.
Yeah, we'll get him up.
But yeah, it's amazing, mate. And I love personal wins. But when you feel that for someone else, and I can even see it in you now, right here, I can see that I can feel it. I can see. And I've had that very recently. So there's a little bit of recency bias going on there, because I can draw upon 10 years of coaching. There's so many good memories and things where, a woman getting a period back, for example, something like that, I'm sure you've experienced that as well.
Massively,
these types of things, or fertility, helping someone get,
that's a huge one.
Yeah, I've had these.
And something that in our industry is a big topic, because it's a voodoo subject, right?
For sure. And I think that's even something we should talk about in another episode, for sure.
Definitely.
In fact, I know a guy from this gym, in fact, who was with me last year, and he's just had a baby. Like he didn't have a baby, his missus had a baby, but yeah, and it's amazing. It's
a big deal, man.
So, I can draw upon these, but there is a little bit of recency bias going on with my answer. So I've got one in particular, but I'm actually going to say two because they're friends as well.
Yeah.
So very recently, Josh Davis, shout out. He has just become the PCA British champion.
Seen it, sick physique. Well done, mate.
Yeah, unbelievable. And the reason why it means so much, there's a few things.
Was he a strongman or a powerlifter? Strongman.
I don't know if he actually competed, but he was huge and strong, like so strong, so big.
I saw some of his before pictures and stuff. Really impressive. Really impressive.
That's it. So when his first check-in came to me, I was like, he's a really big guy. And I'd already heard from a friend of his that he lifts X, Y, Z in the gym. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So then to see him go from that and the way that his body started responding straight away, I knew. So we've cut down, gone up like 3 times. 2.5 years we've been working together. And then, the final product. Well, it's not the final product, it's the current product.
Refined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mate, and if you knew the struggles that he was going through mentally through this prep, he really struggled. And I won't share them, but he really, really struggled. And he was able to persevere, and we were, in contact with so much. And seeing when he won, like he had tears in his eyes, and the passion that he felt was just. Me and Emily were watching in the crowd, and we were like, and even Emily was like, oh my God. Like Emily felt it as well. You just seen the way he reacted. It was amazing.
The thing is, mate, and this is something that we've really got to touch on, is that you get to see an insight into someone's life that no one else sees. And your clients will tell you things that they won't even tell their partners, their friends, their colleagues, their family, but they'll tell you. And you remember that. And when you see them win, it's so much more than just the win.
Yeah.
It's the whole journey.
It's that, that iceberg that sometimes is shed, like people only see the tip, but they don't realize what went into it.
Massively.
And we get the front row seats of what went into it.
Yeah.
And what Josh felt on the weekend was just unbelievable. I really felt it for him. And the reason why I say I wanted to mention too, there's another guy, Peter Kane, who we've just started working together again. And Peter and Josh are actually friends. So they knew each other. I think Peter came to me first and recommended Josh come to me, all the other way around, whatever. And the same thing. Peter was just a really big and strong guy. No real bodybuilding knowledge, no whatever.
Yeah.
2 years, fast forward 18 months later, and Peter Kane was a British champ.
I remember seeing his pictures when he first started and thinking, fuck, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Josh and Peter, both of them, they're just so heavily muscled.
Yeah.
So they gave me the right tools. They gave me a base.
Well, that what it tells you is that this person has a capacity to train at a certain level.
For sure.
Because it doesn't matter what your genetics are. If you've built that level of density and muscle mass, you know that person knows how to train.
Yep.
They have felt very heavy weights.
Yep.
And they know what's involved. All they need is the guidance with the nutrition, the right times, the right timings, the right guidance at the right points, and you'll just bring them in.
That's it. Yeah, it's like the perfect storm, isn't it? Like someone who knows what they're talking about, but someone who's already put in the work. They give me the correct tools, and then I just guide them. 1 year on from each other, they both become British champs. I'm fortunate enough, I've actually had 4 British champions, so I'm pretty proud of that. But those 2 in particular really stand out for me because of their start position and because of what they went through. Peter also has to starve himself to get in shape. So I know how hard he has to try to get there. And it just means so much to me. Seeing them get that final result was just incredible. So they're probably the 2 that I'd say. But there are so many, and I feel almost bad for leaving some people out because there's so many I could mention. But recency bias, this is just fresh on my mind, So that's it.
Yeah.
Right, so that is it. Apart from outro, as a bit of a snappy one-liner, I want you to say, if you could give one piece of advice to the 18-year-old version of yourself, what would it be?
The issue I had when I was 18 is I had no direction and I had no guidance. I knew I needed to do something, but it was just so misdirected. I had the right energy. I was very social. I just didn't have the right guidance, and I went down such a slippery slope because I was just following and chasing the dopamine. I wish I reached out to someone at that time in my life and just asked for help. Not necessarily from a bodybuilding coach, but I just wish I'd spoken to someone in a little bit more of an authoritative position.
A male role model.
That's exactly what I was missing.
You needed a realm.
That is exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And I think every bloke needs that at some point.
Yep.
They do. They do. I made so many mistakes, and I just wish I'd reached out to someone just to help give me a little bit of guidance, because no one was just going, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. Like, no one was putting me in check. No one was kind of pulling me back in line when I was making really bad life decisions. And it was just snowballing so badly.
So a bit like what I just said, you had all of the tools.
Yeah.
You're good looking-ish.
Don't know about that. A lot more hair back then.
Good looking, energy, good physique, everything was there, but you just, like a crossroads in a rail. You had like two directions and you just went down the wrong way. It was all there. Just unfortunately misplaced energy.
That's like 10 years of my life that I feel are wasted because of that mistake.
Yes and no. Yes, wasted to a degree, but it made you who you are today. It's corny, but it's true, right?
Yeah. About you?
Yeah, I would honestly say similar, but I had a really good role model. My parents are still together now, like, thank God. And my dad is an amazing man. Like, I really admire him, like, on so many levels. I had all of the advantages, and I was popular in school. That's makes me sound like a dickhead, but it was not like there was any disadvantages for me. It was all easy, and I just made mistakes.
Was that the problem?
That's kind of the point. Everything was too easy. I feel like I did need to make mistakes. That's my personality. I kind of mentioned earlier on. I am the kind of person who needs to make mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a point where I can look back and go. So probably what I would say is just switch on a tiny bit earlier. Have your fun. Have your fun. I don't think I'd be the same person I am now if I hadn't exhausted the fun times.
Yeah.
So I feel like I needed to do it a little bit, but switch on a bit earlier. Just have your wits about you. I see people, early 20s switched on, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was like that. I wish I was like that. Yeah, it took me to 27.
Which is why when I see it in youngsters, it really impresses me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love it. I love seeing it.
I will go out my way and tell them.
Oh, 100%.
You're on the right path, mate.
Every time not even bodybuilders, but bodybuilders as well, a 20-year-old is in amazing shape, but he doesn't really go out, he's got a miss, he's got a good job. I'm like,
mate, I tell them in the gym. There's a few lads at my gym, and
100%.
I'm like, I literally will go up to them, I'll stop them in the middle of the session and be like, I'm proud of you.
Good on you. Yeah, 100%. And
don't stop.
Yeah, hopefully, your words and other people see that as well, and it encourages them to keep going. Hopefully they don't have a burnout by the time they're late 20s or whatever.
Yeah.
Then crash.
Yeah.
That's definitely the worst way of doing it.
Totally.
Imagine getting to 30, then losing yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one positive that you and I did. We got our shit years out of the way earlier. Do you know what I mean? There's like
just escaped it.
It's like just about. It's like, yeah, they're shit, but the positive is we done it. So yeah. But anyway, on that note, my friend, nice one. We know which one to do. Last week we were like sort of a bit caught in between which one to do. But yeah, let's do that. That's our new one, all right? Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in for the next one.
Thank you.